What now? Oh. Hey everybody, sorry about the way we're setting up. We should have had everything then.
Okay, there we're back.
Okay.
Okay.
Here.
Oh no, you take this one.
Okay. All right.
All right, guys.
Let's see if it stays
We're
in.
doing this. Let's walk out to the fire pit. So this is our fire pit, guys.
All right.
So we're gonna come out here and we're gonna sit in the swing. Which swing you want, Mark?
The one I was sitting in.
That one over there. All right, go have a seat, Mark.
All right. They should be able to see me. All right, sister. All right. All righty. You can't see. Let me pull my phone up to do the.
As I say, I got comments here too.
Huh?
So I brought this phone too for the comments.
Okay. Sister.
Yeah.
What a dog.
Ah.
All right.
Y'all, we've been cleaning all day.
Yeah, we've been doing some spring house cleaning and getting ready to take care of one of the projects next week. So we're making
And this
some
phone ain't
room.
even started yet.
So yeah, let's get.
So first stream didn't work. This one's on now. The reason the first one didn't work is because the camera was not turned correctly. Mark, my hair is a wreck. I forgot about that. The camera wasn't turned correctly, so Mark said, why don't you stop it and start again? So we stopped it, deleted it, and started again. So
Next time we'll have the stand and the phone already over here before we hit the.
we lost
live.
track of time. We had a visitor at the last minute. So
Anyway,
that's how it goes.
hope everybody's doing okay tonight. Glad to see everybody. I can't tell who's here yet, but give me a minute that my Wi-Fi is wanting to act up. So usually I have good service right here. Who's here yet, but give me a minute that my.
I got the volume on this one.
Yeah.
All right, PJ's here. Hey, PJ.
Hey PJ, how's it going?
You on the other show. That was pretty cool. All right, Robert Duvin, he's the one that said the first one didn't work. Audio's okay now.
Okay, good.
Janelle says, hey, there we
Hey
are.
Janelle. Hey everybody.
Everybody says hello, and has everybody, what's the temp there today? It's 90 degrees in Detroit today.
I would say it was cooler here in Alabama.
It was not 90.
I think it was 82 today.
Maybe.
It wasn't real hot out here. Humidity's not hot, real high either. And so weather is pretty comfortable here. I think tonight's low is 62, which is kind of uncommon in June for Alabama. Usually we're already probably in the 70s at night. In fact, they were hollering for some 50s again this next week. Then I noticed they took it out. So, and it may be because that high pressure system, I mean that low pressure system in the Gulf may be, maybe change the weather a little bit. So there's a tropical storm down in the Gulf off of the coast of Florida. I kind of wasn't hurt if that had came up through here and gave us.
Fishing.
Okay, good.
Joe and Pat, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I wish we would have got a shower. My corn is hurting a little bit, and some of the other crops are needing a little water.
And I broke out the water hose yesterday, so.
Yeah, be hard for me to do that on that big field, unless I had an irrigation pump. And then I really don't want to pull my ponds down, but.
91 but low humidity for Janelle. Michael Haywood, hey.
And it just didn't feel that hot today, and it may be because that low pressure is pulling air, because it was actually breezy a little while today. Me and her worked in the garage because that's where our project's fixing to be. Of course,
the Wi-Fi is not working.
Huh?
The Wi-Fi is not working, so I can't keep up with the the chat.
Huh, wonder why. I can sit right here and it's unusual.
It may be unusual, but the Wi-Fi's not working.
Yeah, mine ain't wanting to pull up either, so. Do we need to bring the phone in a little closer?
Why?
Just to see if it'd help, but that's all I'm asking.
Help what?
Where you can read when it pops up on there?
No,
okay.
You're good.
Okay. Maybe it'll come in. That's unusual. Usually I got full strength right here. Tell you what I'll do. Let me get off Wi-Fi and get on cellular for a minute, and I'll be able to look at everything. And that might be part of the problem.
Well, my phone, the Wi-Fi got turned off in order to do the video. We're just on data with my phone.
Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah. So.
Here we go. What?
Oh, I got us.
I wish I did.
Hold on, let me turn that off. Okay. All right.
So why don't you hand me that?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Since I'm the comment reader.
Yeah. Well, I hope everybody's been doing good. It's actually been a beautiful week here in Alabama. I mean, oh Lord, here goes people shooting. We have some neighbors through the woods way over there, and he likes to target practice at dark and after dark. I ain't never figured out. And I know I don't think he's shooting at nothing. I think he just gets over and target practice. And then we have another guy back way over yonder way, I think across the railroad in there somewhere. He'll get stirred up at 12 o'clock midnight with sounds like a fully automatic rifle. So
well, that's the area that had the shootouts in too, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, we even though we live rural,
in the middle of nowhere.
Well, we're not 100% in the middle of nowhere, but we do have a rough area not far from us, and it's just, and that's that way over the whole U.S. now. Just some folks don't know how to act. But it's been a beautiful week here in Alabama. Weather's been nice. I mean, it hadn't been real hot. The nights have been nice, very nice nights. Tomorrow night we have our campfire night, and I should have had a fire going for tonight, I guess. But we had company a while ago, and I'm glad he came by because he shared some testimonies that some stuff has went on that he found out, and it made me feel real proud for him that he's made some differences in some people's lives, and he didn't even know he'd made it. So I think he got sent here today a little early just for that reason. But so that made me feel real good to hear what was going on there. So
that's cool. Y'all got range now.
We need some here badly.
We don't have any in our forecast.
And it's strange. Last week we had all that rain. A few days before I left for Ohio, the ground soaked it up quick. And I've seen it do this before. Even though you get good rain, it's done got so dry down in the ground or something that the water table has a hard time building up. Now our ponds are full right now, but if you keep staying like this, they'll drop. In fact, I see a little bit dropping right yonder.
There's a little drop.
Yeah, I see a little drop right there. And I meant to put a gate in that thing this year and hold some of that water when it got higher, and I should have kept that level up a little higher. But I need to. I got to get a gate built for that one.
Now, the pond on this end's got two overspills or spillways, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
One of them is lower than the other.
And I think he came back later on and added that because I think what was happening, it was going over his dam, and he had to have another way to let out some water, and I think he put that gate in to relieve some more of the water. And I think that's what took place.
I think he was digging a ditch, trying to aim it a different way. What we were trying to do, by actually digging the ditch, was to never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
What we done about tonight?
Well, we've got 2 good stands of corn up, the Jimmy, and the evergreen. Well, the evergreen's skippy. Well, that out there's a little skippy too, but it ain't real bad. I mean, I can tell where the crows tore up one end of the field pretty good, and I see where the deer have been nipping it. We got peas, except for the deer are eating the leaves off the peas. I ain't never really seen them eat the peas as soon as it sprouts.
Janelle's looking for chemtrails.
Right, so, and I hope y'all like us doing this outside. I did want to go to Creepy Mountain, but I knew with us doing spring house cleaning and
there was no way we were going to make it up there.
So,
not today.
So we decided just to do it out here at where we do our campfire. So, and tomorrow night, if people are willing, I may do a 5 or 10 minute video to put on Creepy Mountain for next week, or Fireside Chats. You know, just to show, because a lot of people ask me how we do the fire, and I mean, it's really just simple, but
we just light the fire and you show up.
Yeah.
That's how we do it.
Look, and let you cook your own weenie. We have fire sticks.
We got the food and drinks set aside. You just get it as you're ready for it. We don't cook it in advance.
Right. Yeah, we let you cook your own weenie over the fire, and you would be amazed. I'm not making fun of nobody, so y'all don't think this is what I'm saying.
There's a number of people that don't know how to roast a weenie.
That's never roasted a weenie over a fire, and I'm like, wee, and I'm not making fun of them. It just kind of floored me, especially being here in the South. But
we have too many grills available.
Yeah, so that kind of floored me, and we even had some people that had never had the Hershey.
Oh, s'mores.
S'mores, and I'm like,
yeah.
Oh Lord, have mercy! What have you been missing? But I'm not making fun, so please don't think I'm going down that road. But it just kind of caught me off guard. But and you know, it's just, I guess it is what it is. But so our sweet potatoes looking good. I got to pull dirt to them this week. You got the tomatoes strung up this week. You got your beans.
I got one set strung up. We've got the second row.
Yeah, you got the rattlesnake beans planted.
Yep. I picked some squash.
Yeah.
Picked the zucchini.
Yeah. So
I got another zucchini I could pick today. I need to go check it and see.
We need to stir fry them sometime this week.
Because if it's ready to pick today, tomorrow it'll be 10 foot long.
Yeah. Need to stir fry them this week.
I picked a tomato.
You picked a little bitty one. I almost bought you some tomatoes the other day.
You should have. I would have loved that.
You know, where you could have them in your salads and stuff.
I thought about telling you to get some cucumbers and some.
Well, I got to go back tomorrow, because I got to get weenies and hot dog buns and a few other items.
Because even if I don't do a salad, I would just love to have a plate with that stuff in it.
Yeah.
So. Yep.
So, talking about the ponds, me and my cousin was talking earlier. He used to love to fish a lot.
We don't burn marshmallows. No.
I told him I was going to restock these ponds. I got a few more turtles I need to remove. I've put a dent in them, and I think that big old Appaloosa cat put a dent in them. But I got to get some Omars back in here too, to help, keep the algae down. In fact, they had them this week over at the feed store.
Oh, and we missed it.
Yeah, I think they had them for $15 a piece. I should have went. All I needed was 4. Put 2 in this pond and 2 over there, and let them clean it up. And let me get rid of a few more turtles. Then I need to go get a load of brim and catfish. And
yeah, we let some people fish, and I think when they hook one, it kills it basically.
Yeah.
So the 4 that we originally had are pretty much gone.
Yeah. So I got.
And they were huge. I mean, they were every bit this big.
Yeah. They're a type of carp. If anybody don't know what an Omar is, it's a type of carp. They keep the grass and algae down in your ponds, and
they make a marshmallow with chocolate in it.
Yes, they do now. They make all kinds. They got the strawberry marshmallows now.
I mean, there's chocolate.
And I've seen banana marshmallows, banana flavored marshmallows.
Well, I mean, I know you can make all those flavors because I've got all the recipes to make my own marshmallows, but.
Well, I mean, I'm seeing them in the store packaged that way. So I guess it's, they're marketing, they're trying to get something sowed, you know. And
Square ones, yep.
yeah. Yeah, s'mores is good. The campfire, and we may have to do that tomorrow night. I may just have to get some marshmallows and some Hershey's,
Yep.
some graham crackers. Let's see. So pretty much on the farm, we are kind of semi caught up, except for bush hogging. I done a little bit yesterday. I got to get back maybe tomorrow evening before the campfire and hit another hour or two. Got my son coming in tomorrow from Ohio. So, of course, I want to do me and him spend some time getting out. So maybe we'll have some good videos for y'all next few weeks.
So we got a rear tine tiller being delivered soon too.
Yeah, so yeah, we went ahead and bought one of those to make easier for her to run a tiller, because we got a front tine. You know how a front tine is. That thing will beat you half to death. And two, this one doesn't run well. It seems like when it's been running too long, it gets hot and shuts down, so it may have a vacuum leak on it or something, or I don't know, or it may just be getting too hot shutting itself down. And then when it cools off,
now it won't crank.
Yeah, so I need to, and there's our problem. We don't hardly have lawnmower people anymore. I probably could fix it, but I've got so much going on, it's just hard for me to get to everything I need to get to. But that's just, you know, the way life is, though. But it's peaceful. I noticed even the road is not real busy this afternoon.
That's good.
And anybody got any questions about homesteading? Anything? Only thing we ain't planting has been the okra. We got
okra's still not planted.
And we'll be planting the pumpkins probably next weekend with the butter peas.
And then you were going to do, in my garden, we're doing the 4 rows of okra, right?
Yeah, instead of putting them out there.
And did you say we were putting the blue corn there?
No, we talked about putting the blue corn over in the chicken pen.
What else were we putting over here? Because I done forgot.
Popcorn. You was talking about popcorn.
Oh, that's right.
So you was talking about
And I
growing
hadn't found any yet,
so. India may have some. You can actually, I think, plant what's in the bag.
Ooh. I wonder how old it is.
I don't know. Now it's got oil on it now, so right. I don't know how that would affect it. But
no, it don't have oil on it.
It doesn't? Well,
the one in the bag doesn't. Okay. The one that's in the microwavable bags do.
Oh, okay. Okay. You might could plant them.
I might try. Of course.
Well, what you might need to do is get you a pot over and drop you a few and see if it's sprouting. Then you know. And sister.
Do the old-fashioned germination test.
Get your foot off the prop.
How long have we been farming the land that we are on? So we bought this house in 2019. We bought it, signed the papers in mid-May, and started moving in June. Yeah. Of 2019.
The first year here, we actually had 2 gardens, or did we have 1 garden? I can't remember.
We didn't have a garden here. That first year.
That's right. We had it at Mom's.
Because it was in June.
Yeah, we had it at Mom's.
We started the herb garden.
That's right. That's right.
And because we were moving all the plants from the other house.
Right.
And the garden was planted at the other house.
So this will be the 3rd year that we've planted most of the fields. The big field was all in grass. The guy had been just keeping it cut with a lawnmower, so it was like a lawn. So that first year I had to kill a lot of grass. Raised a great watermelon patch that first year. The corn didn't do that great, but I mean,
you're gonna have to move.
I had to jam up watermelon crop that year, and last year had a pretty good watermelon crop. This year I cut down on the watermelons a little bit. I planted the field the opposite direction this year too. I planted it east to west instead of north to south. I mean, a lot of people, you know, we used to plant a lot of fields east to west because they'd get the morning sun.
Excuse me.
In the mornings, and then the evenings they get some shade on them, and you know. But that's with smaller fields. You can't do that with huge fields. But you know, some people say, you know, you plant north to south. I don't think it really matters, but
PJ, we need to have some out of season deer hunting at your front yard right now.
Do what now?
So And Janelle was saying all this, PJ said all this talk about food was making her hungry. So Janelle said she had just ate a deer rust, so she was full. And so PJ came back with, she's got 4 deer in the front yard right now, 2 bucks and 2 does.
I'm surprised ours ain't out and about. They'll probably come out right after dark.
They used to come out right before dark.
Yeah. So they may show up here in a minute, especially coming to eat my peas. But,
oh yeah, come and eat the peas.
Yeah. So I do have 1 pea patches inside the fence that ain't getting touched. Maybe next week I can get another fence.
But no, it's not the purple holes.
No, it's my Uncle Mac's peas. As they call them, the wash pot peas.
That's it, the wash pot. Them suckers run like I ain't never seen a pea run.
Yeah, and they're bushy pea, buddy.
I mean, they run, man.
So.
Oh, they had a baby out there yesterday too. That's cool. PJ had a baby deer out there too.
Okay. Yeah, Spencer's got 2 twin deer that have come up at his place, and found out he found the mother dead out in the woods about 100 yards from his house, and he's kind of been, I think he called the wildlife services and all that group, and I think they've been bottle feeding them a little bit, and trying to get them just big enough maybe where they'll start feeding on their own and make it. But he did find the mother dead behind his house.
Squatch has made it in.
And he don't know, he don't think, anything. He said the deer didn't look like it was mangled up or anything, like a Sasquatch may have got a hold of it or something. So
probably got hit by a car.
Well, he said he's a good piece from a main highway. So
still could have ran though.
Well, yeah, it could have, or she could have ate something.
True.
She could have got in some poison somewhere, or I asked him, was he able to look at her body just to make sure. He said she done got decomposed pretty good, and she was, blowed up, and he said he couldn't take the smell too good. And I said, well, you can take petroleum jelly and wipe under your nose and walk up there and you won't smell it. Yeah, you will.
Petroleum jelly is not the one you use.
I know, but you can use that.
That has no smell.
But it kills your smell for a little while.
Okay.
I have used it one time when I had to drag a dog out from under somebody's house. That's all they had, and I wiped it on my nose.
Vicks is what I'm used to.
And I didn't smell that dog.
Vicks vapor rub.
And them times we've pulled calves out of cows, that's what I put on my nose.
Okay.
And it worked.
Okay. So. That works. So Ken Squatch is in the house now.
Hey Ken, how are you, man?
And Robert Duvin says we have CHD disease in some of the deer up there in Michigan.
Yeah, well, it's made it all the way here to the south. Alabama had a few cases this past year, but it's up in a corner right now on the Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama corner up in there, kind of where Coonbo lives, up there around Florence, Muscle Shoals area. I hope it don't spread down here, but it probably will make itself down this way.
Yeah, CWD is correct.
Yeah,
I said CHD, didn't I?
Yeah. So I hope it doesn't make it down here, but it probably will. I think Georgia had a couple of cases here last year. Mississippi's had some, so it's all around us. Tennessee has, so it's only about time it shows up. And they're doing testing now. I think when we carry our deer to the processors now, they are pulling the jaw bones or whatever they pull to test that. I'm not sure exactly what they pull, and I think they're sending them all off, to the probably to Auburn, who's probably doing the testing for them.
The diagnostic lab down there.
Yeah, probably.
That's not associated with Auburn University, though, right?
No, I didn't know that.
They're separate entities. They do employ some of the students there, but they do some teaching out of it, but it is actually not part of Auburn.
Right. So, yep, we'll probably deal with that situation one day. And somebody asked me something the other day, and I meant to correct myself on something. Yes, Talladega National Forest there's 2 forests, Talladega National Forest in Alabama. One is the Eastern Division, one is the Western Division. The one I deal with most of the time is the Eastern Division, one where Cheehaw State Park is located. It's part of the old Appalachian Mountains where it pretty much ends in Alabama. If you were to pull up a map of Alabama, there's 4 national forests. 2 of them are the Talladega National Forest. Like I said, one's the Eastern Division, one's the Western Division. I don't know why they didn't give the Western one a different name, but they didn't. Then you have Bankhead, and you have Canuck. Canuck's down on the Florida state line, and Bankhead is kind of up in the sort of the northwest part of the state. That's where Greg House lives, not far from Coombo. It's not far from Huntsville or Birmingham. It's kind of in between, but kind of, I guess you'd say, northwest of Birmingham, southwest of Huntsville. Old growth forest. Some of the timber's never been cut out. There's the Sipsey Wilderness there that was set aside years ago. That's where some of the old forest is at. There's supposed to be a poplar tree in there that's the biggest east of the Mississippi River. There's pictures of it. You can go find the pictures of the poplar tree. It's huge. I think there's a trail that goes to it. I think the trail's 4 miles long, 2 miles in there, 2 miles back out, I think. Beautiful waterfalls in there. So that'd be a place to really go, hike if you really wanted to see some pretty country and see some old growth forest that hasn't been touched. Also, there's booger activity in there. I've had some friends that camped out in there and had a lot of activity at night. A lot of people hike that Sipsey Wilderness. And I think it's kind of up in the northwest corner of the National Forest, close to the town of Moulton, Alabama. I think it's the closest town to it. And Moulton is where they have the Alabama Egg Festival every year. A lot of layer houses up in that neck of the woods. So that's why they have the Chicken and Egg Festival there. Real beautiful country.
And the Wi-Fi actually may be down.
It may be what's going on. I'm surprised we're pulling right here then.
That's on data.
Oh, it's on data?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it may be down because I tried to pull it up and it's not pulling up at all.
Yes, what was I going to say?
Yeah.
My mind went blank a minute. Boy, I tell you, that old plague still pops up on me from 2020. Sorry, man, I ain't mean to bump you. Anything you want to talk about before we?
No, I'm kind of disappointed that the broody duck's off the nest.
Yeah, and she's been injured, so I don't know what took place there. I don't know if something tried to get her, or it was after the eggs and injured her.
Because I was looking forward to seeing little ones swim in the pond.
It could be a snake too, by the way it's acting.
Yeah, she could be snake bit.
Yeah, she could have got.
What's wrong with that leg?
Yep, he may have finally found her eggs and coming there to eat them, and he may have popped her. We'll have to watch her next few days. Last year we had a cottonmouth. I think that popped 2 of her.
Be careful, PJ.
What is it?
She's going to ride to get Paul. He's working on the pond.
Okay.
So she'll finish watching later.
Okay. Appreciate you being on, PJ. And then really enjoyed your
show the other night.
You telling us your encounter and everything. So I think that does help with healing over time, telling people about it. And there's other things, but
Carl Price is in the building.
Hello, Mr. Price. How you doing today?
He said Kaneka is pronounced Kaneka.
Kaneka, yeah, I know. I've heard it both ways. I think a lot of folks up here in our area pronounce it the way I do, and then people down in LA, pronounce it different. I think I've heard it both ways, and so. Any more questions or anything? Okay.
No, it's a slow night on here tonight.
Well,
I think they know we've been cleaning house all day.
Well, and it's summertime, and a lot of people's on vacation this week. Schools finally got out last week. You had Memorial Day weekend, and Uh-oh, something's going on.
Battery's dying. I didn't charge it very good. So guys, we might have to cut this really short.
Yeah, we may have a short one tonight. Yeah, next time we do outside.
Now, babe, so you might want to start wrapping.
Okay. Well, y'all, I hate that's happened. Next time we'll make sure we're going to do outside.
We can run inside and plug it in real quick.
Well,
and keep her going, but it'll be from in the house.
Well, we can do that real quick. Because I hadn't even got in on Bigfoot stuff real quick. So, all right, let's go real quick.
All right, we moving.
All right, y'all bear with us a minute.
I got that.
I don't know how you're going to plug it up with the mic.
Oh, shoot.
Well, might be where you just need to...
I was going to say, we'll lose the mics.
Okay. Yeah, we're goofballs, everybody.
Phone's been in my pocket all day, so it's not been on charge. And I forgot about that. So we're moving.
Yeah, everybody, y'all seeing our mess. We'll have it cleaned up by tomorrow. And yes, I have shorts on. If anybody noticed, I don't hardly wear.
Whoops.
Oh me.
Still here.
All right, come on, sister. We're gonna keep an eye on you for a minute.
Fixing the sound, y'all hang on, hang tight. Whoops, there it went. Whoops. Yeah, it was down to 4%, babe.
How was it?
Yep, 4%. That's why I said that. You better get to wrapping. Y'all hang on.
Yeah, just bear with us for just a couple minutes. We just about there already. You know how you do when you get in spring cleaning, you
make a bigger mess than what you started with.
Yep. There we go. We situated now. Next time, if we're going to do outside, we'll be more prepared. We'll have everything more prepared.
Move it, pillow.
Sure.
Whoops. All right, has that got us?
Where's my phone?
It's over here by me.
Okay, just making sure.
There we go.
All right, sorry about all that, y'all.
All right.
I always told you, with me, it's going to be realistic. And you'll see the goof up moments and
yep. Sister, don't mess with that.
Everything
please.
else moments, you know. So, just bear with us.
Yep.
We're not
professionals.
We're not professionals.
Not experts.
Well, I tell everybody I'm just an old country boy from Alabama, and you have to take the bad with the good, the good with the bad, however you want to say it, All right.
Trying to get it to be a little more stable.
You can tell we've been cleaning today because dust.
Dust is everywhere.
Yeah.
All right.
That's one thing, buddy, you have to fight continuous in life is dust.
Yeah.
Especially when you have carpet in the house. That's another project that's coming.
Is Mr. Parker using dynamite for bait?
He
probably would be. Why would I not be surprised at that?
Yeah, him and Pat, I think, been camping out this past weekend. They've had some activity. Hopefully, we'll hear more about that down the road.
All right.
I think Misty, her family is camping this weekend. So, hopefully, I don't know if they're Bigfooting or if they're just doing a family camp out. I didn't know. And also, I think I'm going to be on with Spencer Sunday afternoon. So y'all tune in if you can. I don't know what me and Spencer are going to talk about. So maybe that phone's cocked, ain't it? But
it is. It's tilted down because we're sitting down and the pole is up so high.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you need me to fix it?
No, we're fine.
I can.
Well, I figure it might drive other people crazy. They're looking at TV or whatever they're watching, looking at it sideways. But, I mean, it may be fine.
Mr. Bell made it in the building, by the way.
Good to see you, Mr. Bell. And anybody I've met.
And he said, you're in shorts.
Yeah, I very seldom wear shorts, but since I was working in the house, and I just, decided to put a pair of shorts on.
Is
I
that
used
better,
to wear
babe?
shorts a lot. Way back in the day, you want to turn it toward your way a little bit where everybody can see you. But oh well, that's good enough too.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. That's we're not looking straight up in the air too. So
It hides this, babe.
oh, okay.
All right, so catching up on comments. Like I said, Mr. Bell is in the house. Let's see who else is here.
And everybody here as well.
Janelle says Canuck makes a good sausage, or decent sausage, sorry.
You didn't pronounce it right.
No, I did not. Anyway, Mr. Rob said Canuck is a slang term for Canadian up here in the Great Lakes region.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Mhm.
that's strange. I
And
never heard that.
then you see where Bama BF had hogs in her yard?
Yes, I did see where she posted about hogs in her yard and yeah, about 30 of them, I think.
Wow.
She lives in part of Alabama where they have a really bad hog problem. Luckily, up here in our area, that hasn't become a bad thing yet. I hope it doesn't because they do a lot of damage. I know a lot of people like to hunt hogs, and I mean I do too. And they're just 20 miles south of here, but it seems like they have it.
LA is lower Alabama.
Huh?
Michael Haywood said he thought LA was lower Alabama.
Yes,
LA
it
is
is.
lower Alabama.
In Alabama, usually if you hear somebody make the remark lower LA, they're talking about actually Alabama. That's what they call it.
So
Now, some
Mr.
of us,
Price said he's from LA. The name Canuck means cane brake snake.
okay. So yeah, a lot of people refer to South Alabama as LA.
And so they're all thinking LA is Louisiana. Some of them are, not all of them.
Well, that's kind of Alabama slang.
Yeah.
You know, a
Yeah.
lot of Alabamians know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
When the word LA is mentioned, they kind of know what they're talking about South Alabama.
Yeah, I missed a comment, so I had to go back and read. So.
But and some of us still refer to it as South Alabama, just like where we live too. Everybody refers this to. They call this East Central Alabama. Even most of the news stations, they refer to this area as East Central Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
We're only about 60 miles, 70 miles straight from the Georgia line.
Something like that.
If you'd be able to go in a straight line, you'd be about 60, 70 miles. May not be that far, but
Man, now I'm about to vacuum again before I clean that carpet.
yeah, we're gonna. One of my plans is to rip this carpet out here in the next year.
Oh, that would be like awesome.
And put down some regular wood floors. Cause I ain't never been a big fan of carpet.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep clean.
It's just dirty.
Yeah.
You know, after we vacuumed and carpet cleaned that hallway, I went back and vacuumed it again and got up a lot.
You probably could do it again tomorrow.
With that thing right there, absolutely.
Well, not just her. It's just it's no telling how old this carpet is.
With
too.
Sister Shedden, absolutely.
This carpet ain't no telling how old it is. When we bought this place, I know a lot of people when they buy a place before they move in, they'll come in and pretty much redo the whole thing. And me and her was just ready to get moved, get us to a place, and then once we got moved in, pick the projects out we wanted to work on. Well, last few years, just with so much going on.
Kitchen was going to be the first one, but then it kind of got changed due to things messing up in the house, like the shower faucet.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the next projects, and the garage doors. For me, I want them out because bugs come in, critters come in, all around the cracks of the garage door. There's a cat door going from the kitchen to the garage, so they come right through that cat door into the rest of the house. I keep thinking one day we're going to have a snake in the house. So for me, I want them garage doors gone.
Well, we're gonna turn the garage into,
My teaching area.
that in our pantry area.
Yeah.
And, cause we have a very small kitchen, and we got to get our kitchen to the point where, we can actually do our cooking in there better and, have room in there to move. And the house, when it was built, which is built in the 70s, and I'm not, the guy, he built it for what he needed, and he probably functioned here very well. I mean, by then, I think it was just him and his wife. I think they had maybe one child left at home. But back then, people didn't need as much stuff, and
Sister.
we don't need as much stuff either. And that's the other thing, is we have a lot of stuff taking up a lot of room.
Yeah.
So, our ancestors done without a lot of stuff and made it fine, and so.
Joe just hooked a yearling bass, and it is not Joe watching under Joe's screen. It's Pat.
Okay.
Jesse Underwood came in,
Hello, Jesse. Hello.
said amen on the snake deal. Yeah.
There's projects we're slowly gonna start. That's one reason we cut back on a lot of crops this year. Is I want to get this garage project out of the way.
That's kind of another reason I went to work.
A
A little extra money to do some of the remodeling we want to do.
I'm pretty much gonna have to, in the spare bathroom, go change out the faucet. Of course, it's been ceramic in.
Yep.
It doesn't have a trap door, so you know what that means.
Well, and the way that the showers are positioned, we're gonna have to go under the sink in our bathroom to get to the back of the shower in the other bathroom.
Yeah. So that's gonna turn into a little chore, and probably when we do that, we'll end up putting a new vanity in our bedroom, and so slowly we'll start changing stuff. I mean, and I got fencing work to do this year too. So that's gonna be the three big projects. Probably this year. The next year we'll probably start a kitchen project and this carpet project, but start working on.
Well, the kitchen project, we still got to decide what we want to do. There's so many different things out there that I would love to do to our kitchen, and I keep changing my mind.
Right, so
because this wall right here
Let's go.
would be awesome to not be here, and maybe be an open wall of some sort, to where when somebody's in the living room, the person in the kitchen can still talk to them. But I don't know if we really need to do that or not, because that's where some of our storage is, also on that wall.
Right.
So
That's something we'll just have to over time figure out.
we've talked about opening up the doorway more down there, to where there's a bigger entrance to get into the kitchen and stuff. And but we also don't have a place for a table.
Right.
So if we open up the entrance, the only spot that we could put a small table would be gone. So there's a lot of what do we do's and decisions to make there. So that's a later problem.
World of Bigfoot. So there's been some good shows on this week. Chris Reinhardt was back this week, and we had a very good guest on, PJ, talking about her encounters, her and her family's encounters there on their property in Arkansas. Beast Crew had the couple from North Georgia back on last night that has the Bigfoot and fly fishing business. I think they put their number up, so I think they'll carry you Bigfooting at night, camped out, and they do have activity. And but also you can do fly fishing during the day. I think that's pretty neat. Now I don't think they're very expensive, what I've heard, and that gives people a little chance. And these people have been catching stuff, so it's not all make believe. And so that's something to check out. So if y'all didn't catch Beast TV last night, maybe go back and watch that. And, they explain some of the stuff that they've encountered over the last few years, and that might be something you go try one day.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind going fly fishing. And
Mr. Bell sent you an email a couple days ago.
Yeah, I got it and responded to it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. You can go to jail for gut hooking too. Oh, gut hooking too many yearling bass. Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah, they do have some laws on snatching.
Yeah, I missed the part where it said gut hooked a yearling bass. I saw just hooked a yearling bass. Yeah. Mr. Bell said you didn't get it.
Okay, I'll go back and check. I thought I responded to you. Thought I did. I'll go back. Now, sometime, I got a new phone a few weeks ago, so I've been playing with it.
He's technologically challenged, guys.
Not all the time, I'm not. I rebuild robots that think more than these phones do, but
This is new, though.
actually, them robots can do more than that phone can do.
Yes,
but
they could.
you'd be surprised how they talk to each other. People look at me crazy if them robots talk all the
They
time.
send information back and forth. They do.
We can watch the lights, and I tell you what, it's pilot fixing to say to the other. Been fooling with them so long. That's that AI in them.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild how all that works together. It's I can see where that could be trouble for us down the road. That AI.
Mm-hmm.
I could see where that could cause us a lot of trouble.
No, I didn't think to check. Yeah, we must sound okay.
Well, I asked somebody a while ago, could they hear us, and I don't know if anybody answered or not. I was making sure.
I don't know if they did or not. I missed it if they did.
But going back to Bigfoot, there's two good shows on this week. Chris and Beast. Like I said, I'll be on Woodwalker Sunday. Let's see what else I was gonna say. Like I
Janelle
said,
said she did answer.
okay.
I just missed it.
Like I said, that Joe and Pat's been doing some camping, so maybe we'll get to hear down the road what all the stuff they've encountered.
Yeah, because they're camping and Bigfooting, basically.
Yeah, which is a good way to do it. Go and fish a while, and so, like I said too, I think Misty and them camping somewhere this weekend.
Excuse me, not camping, but fishing and boogering.
Okay. So, I know Chris, I think, is heading up into New York tomorrow, so maybe they'll have some good stuff. With my son being here for the next few weeks, me and him's gonna try to get out some besides doing our little projects.
Yep.
So me and him will probably get out in the Talladega National Forest some, probably get up on Creepy Mountain, because he done hit me up about going and shooting guns up there one day, so.
So just letting y'all know in advance, we have a new cameraman again.
Yeah, so me and him will probably go, and hopefully I can get with my neighbors and go ahead and get that interview. And then, of course, I got the other guy I got to go sit down and talk with.
He's got to have surgery. Did I tell you that?
Well, I didn't
the
know.
big surgery. The thing that happened the other day was just a procedure type surgery.
Okay.
Now he's got to have the actual surgery.
Okay. So, well, I may just have to go back and interview the other neighbor.
Well, it's not scheduled last I heard, but it's going to be done this summer, so.
Okay. I hope he does well with it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Come to find out, it's something he's needed done the whole time. Since his first cancer diagnosis, it needed done then, but they said that it didn't trump the cancer treatment, in other words. Right. So they treated the cancer, and now that that's all smoothed out and over with for now, they're going to go fix the surgery while he's healthy enough to do it.
Okay. I really don't know of anything else really going on much right now. Like I said in the video of the day, if you are having them around your place, there's some ways to deter them. And one thing I did not talk about that I didn't get into the other day, but I will talk a little bit about it tonight for a few minutes. is going to each corner of your property.
When do you have to leave tonight?
I got a little one.
Okay.
Going to each corner of your property and praying over your property and praying for protection of that property. Scott Carpenter has talked about that, and where he got that from, and where some other people's got that from, was from the Bible, where they would go out and pray over your property, or they go to your town limits, or when they lived in villages or whatever, they go to the four corners and they pray for protection around that area, protect everybody. If you're a Christian and have a belief in Christ, that might be something else you could try. Is to put a border around your property. Now, Scott Carpenter says sometimes you have to do it a couple of times. So, I think he was helping a farmer or a rancher out west that was having a lot of Sasquatch problems they done got to the point that was killing his calves, sheep, that's getting into his chickens, that's going up around his house. He had some hunting cabins because he was an outfitter part of the year, had people come and hunt.
Hey, Mark D.
He had people coming, to pay hunts. I think the Sasquatches kept tearing up the cabins, and they was just having issue after issue, and he was trying to figure out how to solve this, and of course he was wanting to go to war with them, shooting at them, and all this stuff, and that just got him more deterred. So I think he contacted Scott Carpenter, and you can go find where Scott talks about this a little bit on his channel. Scots think they are Nephilim or some type of descendant of a Nephilim, and he told him to go to his four corners, his property, and pray for protection around his property. I think he done that, and it still wasn't happening. It slowed it down. But also, there was something in the Bible about where I think it was Jacob was having problems with the Nephilim. And I think Jacob went and kind of called a truce with them. I might not be quoting this just exactly right, but I think Jacob ended up buying some property from them too to bury Rebecca on. So he got along with them. I think he went, Now, also I've heard that you could go talk to these things. I know that sounds crazy, but we're dealing with something that's crazy anyway. That you can go talk firm to them, but nicely, and say, hey, look, leave my family alone, leave my animals, crops alone. I'll leave you alone. You can get some of my crops, the deer on the property. Only time I'll hunt them is during hunting season. I'll take a few, the rest will be yours. Let's just get along on this property, but I want you to leave my family alone, my animals alone, stuff like that. And the guy said he quit having problems. He said the boogers are still there, but he quit having problems. So, according to what Scott said on his video, it seemed to work. And that's what Scott told him to finally do, was just go talk to him firmly but respectfully, and kind of make a truce with him. And so far, I think that truce has held. I hadn't heard him come back and talk any more about it, so I'm assuming. And if any of y'all have listened to that, you may know better than me. But that's what he said, and it kind of calmed things down. Now, I did that here too. when he got coming up here, slapping the house, slapping the door, looking in the window, doing all he was doing, looking in Rebecca's car, and I'm pretty sure that's what he was doing. Doing all he was doing, I finally, besides putting up the spotlights or motion lights, the cameras, I just walked out there in the field one night and I said, "Look, him, just leave my wife, my animals alone. I'm not going to bother you. You don't bother me. I'm going to probably kill a few of these deer here at this place during the, or let me say harvest. I forgot you two don't like that word, the other word. I'm going to harvest a few of the deer and the rest of them are yours. The coons and if you get into my garden, that's fine. I don't mind you getting some stuff out of it. Just don't destroy it. Leave me some stuff too." Has that worked? I don't know. I mean, we're not having nothing slap the house no more. The dog don't get as tore up as at night as she used to. Do I still think he comes around? Yeah, but I think he's a lot more careful, and he might be just being more respectful now. I don't know. And, my last resort was to go pray over my property, and I probably still need to do that anyway.
You really do.
Just not from him, but from anything. Physical or spiritual. Cause that's what I think all of us should do that with our property. And it's very biblical. It's very biblical. So that's one thing we as Westerners, when we read the Bible, of course, the Bibles we're reading were rewrote by Westerners, so they inserted Western words into it, and also it was written in a time period that things were different, even though all that can be used today. It's still relevant today and will be in the future. But to really read the Bible, and I'm learning this slowly myself, that you've got to get into the mind frame of thinking or reading from a Hebrew side of it, learning what them words really mean.
From the back then perspective.
From back then, from that perspective and what they were doing. And then that starts opening your eyes, because we as Westerners, it's because we've been raised in church and the King James Bible and the International Bible. We think of everything from a Western way of thinking, and the rest of the world don't think like we do. I'm going to tell you now, the United States, Canada, and part of Europe's the only one that thinks kind of the way we think. The rest of the world kind of thinks the opposite way. So, especially the Middle East and Asia and parts of South America and Africa. So, it's a whole different mentality. And for us to really understand some of the words, and I'll use one word that I didn't really know to the other day, and it floored me. Satan does not mean one individual. It means multiple individuals. That blew my mind. If you go back to Hebrew and to Greek and the other languages from that time period, Satan was not referring to one person. It was referring to a bunch of different entities. So I did not know that. That kind of blew my mind. And there's some other words like that kind of blows your mind when you really start getting into that. So that's something to just remember when you're reading your Bible. And I'm not knocking no preachers nowadays. Don't take me wrong, because they've been trained the way they've been trained through some seminary and the schools they go to. But there are some preachers that have progressed on further and really dug down into that stuff, and they're coming out with what they're finding, and it's real interesting. It shows a whole different world than we really know. we look at everything from American way of life, and we're really are really removed from the way our ancestors were. Even our ancestors 100 years ago. Um, I mean, if we went back to 1923, how much different it would be, and our great grandparents or grandparents, and the life they lived, and what stuff meant back then to what means different now. So, and when you get into the Bible, um, I think you really need to start learning what the Hebrew language was really meaning, what these words mean.
Okay, I'm gonna break you up now.
Okay.
Okay. So, did you ever say hey to Mark D?
No, but hello, Mark D.
And that's Fresh is here too now.
Hey, Fresh, how you? And anybody else that's come in that I have not spoke to, hello, because I know a couple times I think I was rattling my mouth. So.
Well, it's a good thing because let's see. Let me go back up. That's Fresh said that's called etymology. And she said hello. I'm sorry, that's Fresh. Not a she. What kind of a role for Joe Parker being on a roll? Not a good role, I have a feeling. That's Fresh said, miss a good chat. God's Hand said, Enoch. That's Fresh, totally. Agreeing, in other words. They also said, understand the basics, the foundations, which is absolutely true. To understand something, you really need to understand the basics, where it's coming from.
That's just like if I move to, say, Canada, even though that's still a Western country, they're going to have customs, they're going to have the ways they do things. It's going to be different than Alabama. There's going to be some similar stuff, but there's going to be a lot of difference. Or if I go to Europe, there's certain parts of Europe if I went to England, there's going to be a lot of things different in England than there is the U.S. or Germany or whatever country. And then when you especially go to Middle East or Asia or Africa, it's going to be totally different. Just the way the way cultures are. And them cultures are a lot older than American cultures. So, I mean, we're one of the youngest countries on the face of the earth in some ways. I mean, we're only a little over 200 years old as a form of government. But, which we branched off of, Great Britain, so we still have some of Great Britain's same way they do some things, but, you just, and where I'm going with this is there's going to be some things I'm going to come out and talk about later in some videos, and it's probably going to blow some minds the way I think, and I hope nobody takes it wrong. But I'm coming from it with a biblical.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So, just a warning, Joe and Pat, Michael's sending the game warden after you. He's got one on speed dial. Just saying, he better stop gut catching those bass. Let's see.
Probably getting dark on him right about now. They're probably having booger activity now.
And then, as Fresh and Janelle are discussing body aches and pains and need new hip and back.
Oh yeah, tell
and,
me about
need
it.
to get bionic, and I'm agreeing with them. And then age is, what's the problem?
Yeah.
Needs some of that adrenochrome. Horse and age, and the adrenochrome like the elitists, and I joke obviously. And then Janelle said, "Oh no to that," and Fresh said, "Oh, saddle battered, huh?" Saddle battered. Ground battered.
I'll tell you that drive.
That's me. Ground battered.
That drive back from Ohio just whoops my tail. I've been hurting all week. My legs, joints. Other day, first day I got on the tractor, man, I was hurt. I don't know, that 10 and a half hours
one way.
and just
And then
stopping
back.
here and there, for 20, 30 minutes. I might start breaking that drive up into half.
Well, they're old enough to drive now, so they need to meet you half.
So, that's a rough drive. If you went up and could stay a few more days longer, it would help.
Mm-hmm.
But when you stay just 4 days, it's kind of tough.
Yep.
And yeah, they're getting at the age where.
Well, they're both graduated from high school now, so they should be able to start meeting halfway a little bit.
Yeah.
And you can slip them some gas money. That's fine. But y'all need to start meeting halfway because that's hard on both sets.
I really don't know of anything else in the Bigfoot world that I've really caught this week. I don't know, has anybody else seen something? Maybe a podcast or a YouTube that come on this week. I know Hellbent Holler was back on this week, and I think they're doing a Monster Fest in Ohio this weekend with Mr. Martin Groves and some others. I was trying to think. And I hadn't seen much of Kyle. Is Kyle not getting on as much as he does? I don't see
Or
him.
you're just not seeing him because the notifications is
I don't
messed
know. I hadn't seen Kyle on much
up. I need
lately.
to go look.
I know he does his lives a lot of mornings, and I've got in on some of those when I was coming home from work. I know Janelle and Fresh moderate for him some, so I've been kind of curious. I hadn't seen him a whole lot, so.
So Jesse said you're like her, or is Jesse a her?
Who are we talking
So
about?
Jesse Underwood said you're like them. We need some Squatch DNA. Joe said wait on the call. It's a full moon and he needs him as bait.
Okay.
What are we baiting for with that?
I don't know, but now hold on. Read Jesse's question again.
Mark, you're like me. We need some Squatch DNA.
Well,
in order to figure out what they really
well,
are.
there's been some tests done. The first time it was done, it came back on the mother side, it showed human. On the father side, which is the nuclear, it don't know. Of course, there was a big rigmarole happening about it because they kept saying, well, it got contaminated because the human showing up in it. So they decided, and the woman who done it, Dr. Ketchum, I think was her name, or something like that. I think she got really railroaded, got fired from her job. I don't know what all went down in there. That's what I hate about the Bigfoot community. We all should be striving toward the same thing, is not just to prove these things exist, but to be supportive of each other, help the people that's having problems with these things, and telling the truth about what we're having, not making fake stuff, not fighting with other YouTubers because they're taking. I could care less if me and Rebecca's channel grow or not, to be honest with you. I know that sounds kind of.
I just like chatting with y'all.
In fact, I kind of like it small because I can interact with every one of you.
Be my own moderator right now.
I watch a lot of these people that get up to 30, 40,000 people, and they can't keep up with. They get where they don't even answer people no more. But these people just follow them, and I'd rather be where I can interact with everybody that comes on here. I might not get to have a full conversation with you, but I can interact with you. Or I can come back later to the comments and interact with you. Now, of course, if we're going to get real deep, then we probably need to talk by email or by phone. Because I'm not, Rebecca tell you, I'm not a big writer. Anybody that knows me, I don't write real long. If we get to that point, we really need to get down to some deep talking. You need to just email me or call me, and I'll talk to anybody. Rebecca will tell you that. I don't meet strangers. And if you got good intentions and you wanting to talk seriously about stuff, and I'm gonna talk to you. I'll make time to speak with you and talk with you, and a lot of people that's met me can tell you that. I might not talk to you every day. It might go a week or two, but I will keep up with try to keep up with what's going on, and what's happening. We all have lives and jobs and other things, but I do try to keep up with everybody. Um, sometimes I might go a week or two without talking to somebody, but I'm assuming later going to send a text, or I'm going to somehow see what's going on, or ask if anybody else has heard from you.
Well, while we're talking about what's going on, Kyle is concentrating on the master plan. He's busy on some private property. I think it has potential to be very interesting journal study. A lot of potential. So.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, I just knew I hadn't seen him out a lot lately, and just want to make sure he's okay. Which I got his phone number. I can text him too, and so some of that's my fault. I mean, when you got somebody's number, you can always text, "Hey man, how you doing?" Just want to check on you.
Let me keep going.
All right.
Carl Price. I've been all over Europe, the Middle East, and Southwest Asia. We Americans are spoiled. Yes, we are.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we are. Michael Haywood, if that full moon hits Mr. Parker just right, I think they'll take him into the family. Oh boy. Let's see. That's fresh. The study of truth. No more BS. We just wish to understand more. I think we are the way off on the mark. Janelle says she likes interaction. That's fresh. Like to spend some time around a fire with some of you guys. Speaking of it, can I call you after the show? Janelle said. Yes, Janelle, call him after the show. Well, Fresh, you need to give your number to Janelle. Some of the comments. Janelle, Fresh didn't know if Janelle was talking to them or to us.
Oh, okay.
So Janelle responded with, "Well, I don't have your number."
Okay.
Well, Fresh, give her the number. All right.
Fresh might not want to give his number out.
Why not?
No, I'm just kidding, Fresh.
Carl
But
said,
now Fresh has been around some stuff, so he might be wanting to do just by email and stuff.
Carl said he's had some activity this week, found a door wreath never seen before, laid up against a stand outside my barn. That's kind of interesting.
You take a picture of it.
And Joe just hooked another one.
Okay. Well, Joe and Pat ought to have bass for supper tonight.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing me and you gotta do. We gotta get back into fishing.
Yep. Fresh is an international man of mystery, according to Janelle. The door wreath. That's interesting.
That is. If it's still there, take a picture of it, and if you don't mind sharing it, maybe email it to me and let me look at it. If you don't mind. If you do, that's fine. I understand completely.
Man of misery.
I'd like, anytime you see something unusual, it don't always mean Bigfoot. I'll say that right off the bat.
Definitely curious.
But it's worth looking at. Anything is worth looking at. If nothing else, just take a picture of it and file it where down the road, if you find something like it again in a different spot, it might start meaning something. I wish that I had took a lot more pictures, because now I see things in other places as similar, and I'm going like, man, I should have took pictures of that years ago. With the camera, with the phones nowadays, you take a lot of pictures, go download them, and, get them off your phone where you don't use all your memory up. But definitely take pictures of anything that you think is unusual or out of place, and if nothing else, just save it for another day in case that pops back up again. It may not mean nothing, but then again it may. Even tracks. I know sometimes we look at tracks and think it's Bigfoot, and then we find out later that it was something else. It's worth taking a picture of, because if nothing else, it teaches you what to look for the next time. It teaches you better tracking skills, or it may teach you, hey, or if you see somebody else's picture of a print, you might, because one thing being a researcher, or I don't really care to consider myself a researcher, but some people say we are. I just consider me a wanting to learn more, or however you want, whatever the term for this is. Searcher, there you go, searcher or seeker or whatever you want to call it. Seeker of truth, I guess that'd be a good thing to say. Um, One of the things we always want to do is try to debunk it if we can. Not saying I already know Bigfoot exists, so that ain't the issue. But we know there's other entities also that are around. Some physical, some spiritual. So we don't know because we didn't watch that Bigfoot make that. So I can't 100% say Bigfoot made that. We know something made it. We know it's out of place. We know nature probably did not do it. Nature does do some weird things sometimes. But what I'm saying is, always try to debunk it if you can. Get down to that last resort. Then you have no doubt in your mind. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Sasquatch made this, and that way. I guess you'd say where you stay. I ain't gonna say you stay credible, but just keeps your skill level up or keeps you thinking. Because I wonder a lot of times if there's other things playing too, and they mimic too. Maybe to throw you off, or I don't know. That's something I need to say for another day.
Okay.
There's a lot I want to talk about, but I just, I mean, I'd eat up a lot of hours talking about it. So.
Okay, that's fresh. Earlier on this year, I was in one of the sites. I left something down there. Next day I returned. I was left a holly wreath. Couldn't define a start or an end the way it was wrapped. That's pretty cool. Michael Haywood, about one more bass and Mr. Parker will be signing autographs. Uh-oh. Let's see. Is this a thing? I struggle to get my head around who made this. You couldn't do this with bare hands. That's a way to look at it. If it's not something you can figure out how to make, it could be anything still, but let's see. Constantly having activity on his farm, Mr. Price.
Okay.
Fresh has images, fascinating. Always arguing with myself on this subject of whether it is or isn't.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. I know they exist because I've seen them. So that part got solved for me on the existing part. What they do now, they have their characteristics. We think that most of us all pretty much agree on: wood knocks, rock clicking, the whistles, the mimicking owls and other animals, the breaking limbs, the vibrations, the foot stomps. A lot of people catch them on thermal. There's thermals out there, and they're real images. There's one off our club, off Creepy Mountain, one that Finding Bigfoot come to check out. That's a real image. A lot of people said that was fake, and that was one of us standing in the woods. I tell you now, that wasn't one of us standing in the woods. When we went and tried to debunk it, and we did it as a group, and then Finding Bigfoot tried to debunk it, none of us could debunk it. I'm 6'1". I went down there and stood in the exact same spot. They done a comparison of me and of the image they caught that night. This thing was almost a foot and a half taller than me, and wider. You could fit my whole body in it, and you wouldn't have seen me. In other words, that's how big this thing was. Because the ground also at this spot started angling down. So it wasn't flat ground there. And when Finding Bigfoot went down there and done their measurements and done their with the thermal, and had Bobo standing there, and he's taller than me. And they put him up against it. He was still small. So this was not fate. And the guy, one of the guys I know that was there, Adam Bassett, I'm gonna tell you now, this guy is straight as a fence post. Um, if anybody's ever met him, you'll figure out he is straight as a fence post. Very strong guy, religiously, um, very down to earth, very, very careful with his evidence that he gathered. Uh, this, and I know he was involved. I have no doubts. I just wasn't there that night. I was there the night before. That night I wasn't there because I had to work, and they were camping out, and that's when they caught that image. And there's been some other images caught up there. And I've seen them up there. I found their tracks up there. I've heard all the vocalizations, and it ain't a normal vocalization. So I know they exist up there. I know they're coming here. I know they're in Hollands. I know they're in other places because I'm getting factual reports from credible people that have no reason to make this up. And a lot of these people, they don't want fame. They're not wanting to pay. They're not wanting to be. They just want to talk to people that also seen them, because it's almost like a healing way. When you get to talking to people that seen these things, it makes you feel better because you're going, well, I ain't going crazy, or so. But is us in this field do try to debunk stuff, think it out, think other scenarios. And then if you're pretty much 100% sure it's a Bigfoot, more likely it was, but always debunk it. Just don't come out and say, "Hey, this is Bigfoot." And this ain't directed to nobody on here. I'm just talking. But take pictures, take pictures, take pictures.
The door wreath was hung. The one Fresh had was hung on the biggest structure down there that they visit.
Okay.
Now distinguish two categories on the land: irregular, in the sky, and abnormality. What are we dealing with? Energy. Carl said, I live at the end of a mile-long dirt road with one way in and one way out. Retired and home all the time. His place has 3 creeks with bogs on 3 sides. No one can get in his place without him knowing it. Joe said, nature didn't open and close a bear-proof trash can twice on my recorder in the National Forest.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He also said, Michael, get in line for the autographs are underway.
But that's what I'm getting at is.
Janelle said they make gifts for people like that too.
Right. And they do. I know they do. I mean, they gifted me and Keith a lot of stuff up on the hunting club. But what I was trying to get at is always think all the way around. Say, all right, could a person done this to be fooling with me? And you, like Mr. Price said, he lives in a place where somebody would be hard somebody to do him that way. More likely what he's dealing with was a Bigfoot. He already knows he has activity there. I don't know if he's seen them or not, but I don't know if he wants to answer that or not. He's probably seen them if he's having activity. But what I'm saying is always take pictures. And even when in doubt, take a picture, save it for one day because you might find it again. It's just that way, that if anything, just satisfies you. Because none of us can prove to the world that Bigfoot exists, but we already know they exist because either we've seen him or we've experienced a lot of stuff with them. We know it's not human, it's not another animal because it's out of character for any other animal. We're finding their evidence, all over the place, and so.
Michael also told Joe, you better give them bass some Tums to help with the belly aches.
Joe and Pat, y'all back down at the same place you was at the other day? What time is it getting?
8:30.
Yeah, we finna have to get off here.
Because I gotta finish vacuuming and then cleaning this carpet. And then I still gotta finish the bedroom too.
Let's see. Anything else you want to bring up tonight?
No, I'm good.
Well, I'm glad everybody came out on this Friday night to sit with us and chat and listen to me ramble.
Well, we gotta put that heat lamp out for them chicks too.
I hope everybody has a good weekend. I hope everybody has the next good week. Of course, I'll have another video come out sometime next Wednesday. I don't know what it'll be yet. I may try to make a phone call tomorrow and see if I can go interview, see if they'll, have time to interview next day or two. I still got some other people I gotta go interview, so maybe I can get in touch with somebody.
Now sending you some pics.
Can't think of nothing else for
Carl
us.
says, I have photos of a booger, several pictures of tracks,
Okay,
finding
cool.
the feed bin lids off. I've had gifts like colored rocks, jars, actual water bottle for the rabbits. He mentioned he needed, and it just showed up. Dennis Conroy said, you too, Mark. So say hey, Dennis.
They did.
Fresh said, I cannot think who else or why they would have done so within the time scale, Janelle, especially considering the day before I left stuff down there. Joe said yes and no. Down at the other place, it's blocked due to maintenance. It's a similar area, but different spot.
All right, y'all. Well, we're gonna roll on off here. And
Yeah, I got a ton of work to do.
y'all remember everybody we support. I'm not gonna go through all of them tonight. Y'all know who we support. I've said it enough. And that Rebecca has added some of them onto our channel list. We'll get the rest of them on there pretty soon.
I gotta show him how to do it.
One person I do, going back to political stuff, is go watch Timothy Alabrino. If you want to kind of hear some stuff, or Steve Quayle. Look them two names up. They're theologians, and they get pretty deep. And they even talk about Bigfoot a little bit. Both of them believe in Bigfoot, and the other cryptids too. So let's see. Yeah, just remember everybody we support. Give us a like, subscribe, hit that share button, comment. Just give us a support. Tell people about us. Share. Hopefully Wednesday I'll have you a decent video. Hope you enjoyed this last one. I hope you got what I was trying to get at, saying that. And then we'll be back next Friday night. If everything, going good, we'll be back next Friday night. And hopefully we might be able to do it from the mountain or somewhere.
Yeah, might put Jonathan on the camera even.
Yeah, so. I do want to get up there some and do some lives because if we're having activity down here, I know there's some stuff going on the mountain. I just ain't had time to go up there and check.
Right.
And go see it. So this time of year is kind of hard to do that.
All right.
If there's anything y'all want us to talk about next week, or me talk about in the video Wednesday, after the show tonight, go leave us a comment. I'll if it's something I can answer, that is, or something we can answer. Homesteading or Bigfoot or anything,
We may take the camera around the gardens for the live.
Well, yeah, we need to do that.
Because it's on data.
Yeah, if it's on data, we can do it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. All right. Well, y'all, enjoyed y'all being here tonight. Enjoyed y'all supporting us, and appreciate everybody, and hope y'all have a good weekend. Bye-bye.